Wanted to take a quick second to talk about fluorocarbon fishing lines. We've heard monofilament, and that's probably the most commonly used line. And then we have braids, and we've talked about braids, but fluorocarbon for some anglers, it really confuses them as to when to use fluorocarbon, what kind of properties it has. So I want to run through quickly the Pro Elite from Vicious is one I use, but fluorocarbon fishing line. Fluorocarbon is going to have some abilities to sink. It's going to be a little more abrasion resistance. It's going to have a lot of similar properties as, let's say, a monofilament, maybe a little less stretch. But fluorocarbon line, for the most part, is invisible in the water. A lot of anglers use fluorocarbon for, let's say, drop shotting for bass, finicky walleyes, leaders for walleyes, flipping maybe heavy cover with heavy fluorocarbon line. They make fluorocarbon lines as big as 100 and some pound, maybe 200-pound tests for musky leaders. But for fluorocarbon fishing for bass, a lot of fluorocarbon conditions consist of clear water where you don't want the fish to see the line. When you want your line to sink, like if you're pitching a jig or you're drop shotting, those are all great ways to pitch fluorocarbon. I'll even run fluorocarbon maybe as a leader on braided line where I want the braided strength and hook setting power, but I want some of those, more subtle finesse, invisible characteristics when I'm trying to get finicky fish to bite. So fluorocarbon for me has its place on bait casting reels, spinning reels. If you put a lot of fluorocarbon line on a spinning reel, you do risk sometimes of it coiling up. So for me, fluorocarbon is great for a lot of different finesse applications, finicky weary walleyes. I do use some light fluorocarbons for even bluegills and crappies, but for me the mainstay is bass fishing with fluorocarbon, throwing crankbaits, pitching jigs, and drop shotting. Get out there and try fluorocarbon if you haven't already.